Hey everyone, welcome back or welcome to my channel. My name is Amy Mantis and today I want to show you a way to expand your blues comping. So I'm sure many of you know how to play a 12-bar blues, especially using open chords. Let's say we're in the key of A. We've all chugged along. Something to that variation, a variation on that idea. Or we've done something like this where we're playing a 7th chord, you know. That's all well and good. Or let's say you can play bar chords and you can do 7th chords like this. For now we're in G. D7, C, G. That's all great. However, there's another way to play all of these chords, and they help you get out of the way of the bass player, get out of the way of the piano player if you have one, or if you have another guitar player in your band or your practice setting or whatever, it gets you up on the top 4 strings. I've been thinking about these chords a lot lately and running them, and I was thinking like, oh, this would be a good video. So here are 3 ways to expand your blues comping from beginner to intermediate to, we'll call it intermediate plus. So first of all, the shapes of these chords, we're using the top 4 strings. I'm gonna start, we'll go in the key of F because it's right here, my hand happens to be there. So our first chord that we have 4 shapes. The first one we have is root position. This is your F7 chord with the root note on the lowest string of this chord. We're not touching the lower 2 strings. E and A don't exist for our purposes. And this chord here is just your D7 chord shape, up 3 frets. F, C, E flat, A. Those are the degrees that you need to make an F7 chord. F is the 1, A is the 3, C is the 5, and E flat is the 7th. So that's root position. Okay, what's first inversion? First inversion means we take the 3rd degree and put that as the bass note now. So in an F chord, an F7 chord, A is the 3rd degree. A lives on the 7th fret on the D string, and we get this. We get A is here, E flat's on the G string, up a half step, F's on the 6th fret on the B string, and C's on the 8th fret on the high E string. We get that lovely chord. So first, no, I always want to call a root position first position because it's the first one we come to, but it's not an inversion, it's just root position. Root position, first inversion. Second inversion puts the 5 on the bottom, in our case C, which lives on the 10th fret on the D string. Then you bar across the 10th fret, since it's pretty simple, and use your second or 3rd finger to grab the 11th fret, which is E flat. So now we have root, first inversion, 2nd inversion, and 3rd inversion looks like this. Which might look familiar if you know this chord. We're just subbing out the low F here for the high F on the high E string. Play it down there as well, and knowing it in both spots is really good. So now, to practice this, all you have to do is run up and down these chords a few times until they're comfortable. So we have root position, first inversion, 2nd inversion, 3rd inversion. We'll go back down, 3rd inversion, 2nd inversion, first inversion, root position. And you want to say and play them together because it will reinforce which one you're playing. First, root. Okay, so let's see you get comfortable with that. Before you move on to try to play a blues, change the key to see how comfortable you really are. Okay, so let's go F, we'll go to G. second inversion, third inversion, root position. Third inversion is also way up here, but this one's much easier to play. You can do this, where you kind of go back and forth between them all. And what this does is it gives you a different tonality for each of these chords. You're playing the same chord 4 different ways. You're going to get 4 different sounds, and you're going to find out which ones you like better. To play a blues in this concept, we know what a blues is, the 12-bar blues. Let's keep it in G. I like G better than F. So let's do it the simple way first to, again, reinforce these shapes would be this. We're going to keep it all in the same shape to start. So we're going to just slide around. So we have G, and this is 4 bars of G. G, 2, 3, 4. Our first chord we come to after our 1 chord is our 4 chord. In the key of G, your 4 chord is C. C lives on the 10th fret of the D string. Therefore, you're now playing a C7 chord. And this will be good for you to help really reinforce the notes on the D string. I think a lot of guitar players get stuck with the notes on the low 2 strings. You know these ones because of these chords, power chords. But there's so much more lurking and waiting for you up top that you're going to want to do this stuff too. So G, C. Now for D, we have 2 options. We can go up here for our 5 chord, or we can go down here for our 5 chord, back to 1. And you would run that through for each shape. So it would be something like this. So we'll do it, I'll give it the full 12 bars for this one. All right, now we'll do it with first inversion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not 12 bars, but you get the idea. Now we'll do it with second inversion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back to G. To D. C. G. One more, third inversion. I took my pick out just to show you that you can do it with a pick too. I often play these without a pick, but I tend to go back and forth. Okay, so that's like beginner plus, playing the blues pattern or a 12-bar blues using each of those chords isolated and playing, okay, we're gonna play root position blues, first inversion blues, second inversion blues, third inversion blues. Now, here's where we put the pedal to the metal, so to speak. We're gonna start in one spot. We're not gonna really go past like a 7 or 8 fret area. And we're going to naturally use voice leading because that's just how these chords lend themselves. So the more advanced, intermediate plus way of doing it is gonna be voice leading and not jumping around the neck. Because when you jump around the neck, you're relying on roots and knowing shapes. When you're able to play in smaller areas, that shows you know the fretboard better because you realize, oh, I'm playing G here, C's right here. I don't have to go anywhere. and it's really cool stuff. I will show you one more way to play the blues that's totally different than this, using just 2 notes, but that'll be at the end. Okay, so here we go, 12-bar blues using 3 different shapes of a dominant 7th chord. First, we'll start G, root position. 1, 2. I should get a backing track. Hold on. G blues backing track. I'm just on YouTube. I'm gonna let it go around. Actually, I'll jump in. Bar 4. 2, 3, 4, C. Back to G. We're gonna use a different shape for D7. D7 again. Now up for G7. C7. Back to G7. D7. C7. G7. D7. G7. Oh, it stopped on me. There's a little break in it. Cool. That's for soloing and stuff like that. But you saw that we were able to just keep going up the neck. So in theory, don't even need a backing track to do that. You can just do this on your own. So let's try it. I'm gonna go a little slower and you can play along with me. I will call out the shapes as I play them. So we're gonna start as low as we can, which brings us to G, 3rd inversion. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3rd inversion. G, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. Still G to C, 2nd inversion. 3, 4. Back to G, 3rd inversion. D, 1st inversion. C, 2nd inversion. G, and then we're going to go to D, 3rd inversion, to G, root position. Root position. 3rd inversion for C. Back to root for G. D, 2nd inversion. C, 3rd inversion. G, 1st inversion. Our root position, rather than we would go up to D7 here. Round it around, and we get G, 2nd inversion. We'll do C, root position. G, 2nd inversion. D, 3rd inversion. G, 2nd inversion. C, 1st inversion. D root. C 1st, G 2nd. And that brought us from here all the way up to here. We could have kept going, but it gets a little tight up top. So that is a way to really reinforce the relationship between a 12-bar blues, between these chord shapes, and to find out which ones you like. You might not like going from, let's see, root position here for G to C to here to D to there. You might want to keep that chord shape twice, because it keeps things a little bit tighter. But what I'm looking at here is not how far down we go, it's how much we keep the voice leading going on. And you're not going to get it perfect every time. Sometimes there'll be 2 of the same. Like you might have, let's see, we might have G in the same spot twice. You might have D in the same spot twice. That's okay. The chords share notes. That's a whole other thing. So I hope this was fun. I hope this was helpful. And I got one more thing for you before you go. How do you play a blues using just 2 notes? How do you? This is how you do it. The 2 most important notes in a 7th chord are the 3 and the 7. So in the case of a dominant chord, it's a 3 and a flat 7. How do you can you play with just those 2 notes? Yes, Yes, you can. Let's take a blues in the key of A. A is our 1, D is our 4, E is our 5. The 3 and the flat 7 of a 1 chord, of an A chord, are C sharp and G. You get them right here, you get them all over, but we're gonna stick here. The 3 and the flat 7 of a D7 chord are F sharp and C. Guess what? They're right there, a little half step down. We've gone from the root note being on the E string to the root being on the A string. Now you might just be hearing a tritone. In my head, I'm hearing an A and then a D. And if you're playing with a bass player or a piano player, another guitar player, you don't need to play that root note because they're going to cover it for you. So we have our 1, we have our 4, we go back to our 1. What about our 5? Well, the 3 and the flat 7 of an E7 chord are G sharp and D. Guess what? There they are right here, G sharp and D. It's so cool. More is not always better. More is more, but you might not need to be doing, you know, or as I play it. Those might do just fine. And then you can grab other notes around along the way. 13s and 9s and all kinds of goodies. So that was your bonus tip, further advanced stuff, playing blues with 2 notes. There's all kinds of ways to do it, but that is the most approachable and I'm gonna say standard way. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this to be helpful, and I will see you again real soon. If you want the PDFs, sign up to my mailing list below and I'll send you the PDFs of the dominant 7th inversions as well as this one here that we just did. Cheers!